Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be another in my Guess Who series. Um, I have actually a very cool book, and it's one of those ones where it's completely under the radar. Not many people realize that this has actually got a pretty major first appearance in it, and that's really the whole idea behind my Guess Who videos. That I really want to show you, the viewers of my channel, some books that you can probably pick up cheaply that have major first appearances. So with that said, I'm going to show you the book. It's this one right here, Heavy Metal. And you probably have heard of Heavy Metal. It's an adult magazine, and has kind of a sexy, maybe like, this is like 1985 magazine, and has sort of a, that kind of, what's the style, like that sort of punk rock kind of style, I guess, of the 80s. And this is volume 9, number 4. So you got to remember that for when you want to, if you're interested in this character, you'll definitely want to pick this book up. So with that said, I'm going to try to give you some hints, and you're going to try to guess who is in this book. And as I said, it is a major character, very, very, like a major pop icon, I guess, would be the best way to describe this character. A very sexy character. um, and just a major character that we have, I think a lot of people, especially people like myself, have grown to love over the years. And she just happened to make her first appearance in this book. So I think I gave some pretty major hints, actually, with all that description. So again, this is Heavy Metal, Volume 9, number 4. And you got to guess who was the character that made their first appearance in this. And to give you one last hint, I guess, this is not the first time that this person or character was featured in published, like, was, in print form, I should say. But it is the first time when they're like made into a comic character. Okay, so that's the differentiator here, because they actually have a much older first appearance if you go by their non-comic form. Okay, so that's a big hint. So with all that being said, I want you to leave your comments below with who you think was in this comic and made their first appearance, magazine, I should say. And I will reveal the answer now. So, surprisingly, there's a very short story in this magazine. The magazine's, if you're not familiar with Heavy Metal, it is a collection of like just short stories. And one of the short stories is about the future. There's this like, almost like this futuristic timeline, and this woman, her name is Betty Page, has like this robotic, like this robot that she fights with and stuff like that. And it's like a world of like where humans and robots kind of live together. And that's the story that first features Betty Page as a character, as a comic character, for the first time. It is. And it just happens to be in this magazine. Now, if you're not familiar with Betty Page, well, you've really been missing out. Betty Page, she was kind of made re-popular, I guess. She was a sort of a 1950s, 40s, 50s like pinup star, and this is what she looked like. And she was kind of reintroduced to like popular media by Dave Stevens, an artist that I really like. So this is one of his renderings of her. This is Movie Star News, and it's just a really great good girl art pinup kind of cover. So I'm going to show you some more Betty Page, just so you know, get a sense of how awesome this character is. So this is Betty Page, Queen of the Nile, and this is also Dave Stevens art. And then we got her on the back. This is another comic. I just have them together, bundled. And this is Queen of the Nile. And you can see she's kind of a sexy sort of... She did a lot of this kind of like bondage 50s pinup stuff. It was kind of weird. And just a really great character. I've noticed one weird thing about Bettie Page is there's multiple ways that they spell her name. Sometimes they spell it Bettie, and sometimes they spell it with a Y. So it's always one of those annoying things with her name. So they spell it multiple ways. And here's another nice, really Bettie Page comics. Paid $10 for it. And this is just a really, really great Dave Stevens cover as well. So that's Bettie Page. And if you're into good girl art, and if you're into Bettie Page, you definitely want to pick up that heavy metal book, because it's just and it doesn't cost that much. You can get it under $10. So it's a really affordable book that just happens to be a major key. And so that's the whole point of these Guess Who's. Did you guess it? Did you do you have this book in your collection? I'd love to hear your feedback. Please always like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.